Hello and welcome back to this week's edition of 5 Minute Geography with me, Stephen Doyle, explaining as simply as possible the world around us. This week in 5 Minute Geography, we look at measuring economic development and we discover how the world is divided based on wealth, and stick around to the end of the video to discover the richest and the poorest countries in the world. Development does not only mean wealth, but it also means the quality of life. When we look at development, we look at things like money, security, the availability of healthcare, and access to education. The world's economic activities is clearly unevenly distributed around the world, with the majority of developed economies being in the northern hemisphere, while the majority of the less developed countries being in the southern hemisphere. The world can be broken into three groups according to economic development: developed countries, quickly developing countries, and less developed countries. With regards to developed countries, the majority of the workforce here is in the tertiary economic sector. They tend to have a high standard of living, good access to healthcare and education, as well as knowledge of nutrition and well-being. They tend to have stable governments and protection against crime and violence, as well as political freedom. Countries in the developed group would be parts of Europe, United States, Canada, Australia, and Japan. The next group would be considered quickly developing economies. Here, there is rapid growth in industrial activity, like secondary economic activities such as manufacturing. Brazil and India have many of the workforce in secondary economic activities. Multinational corporations are attracted to the cheap labour and the cheap cost of the raw materials. This leads to job creation and improvements in life expectancy, literacy, healthcare and nutrition. Governments then become wealthier and as a result can provide more services and infrastructure to the population. Countries that would be grouped within the quickly developing economies would be China, India and Russia. The third group are considered the less developed economies. This group has the poorest economies in the world and are reliant on primary economic activity such as farming, fishing, forestry. Food security here is a major concern because of natural disasters such as drought and famine. They tend to have unstable governments and high corruption levels, as well as a lack of services. They are highly indebted, poor countries due to low interest rates. They tend to grow cash crops in order to just simply repay the interest on the loans. Countries within this group would include Ethiopia, Mali, and Sudan. But how do we measure economic development? Stick around for next week where we delve into part 2 of this 2-part series. The top 5 richest countries ranked by GDP for 2020. 5. Ireland, Singapore, Luxembourg, Macau, the richest being Qatar. Some of the poorest countries based on GDP are the Democratic Republic of Congo, Mozambique, Uganda, Tajikistan and Yemen. As always, I've been Stephen Doyle with 5 Minute Geography. Thanks for watching. If you like what you've seen, please click the like and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like me to cover a specific topic, please just pop it in the comment section below.